Mission is up. Stand by. Kim 2 will be next.
Something I've always wanted to tell you, and I think you're ready to hear it. You're not very pretty, and you're not very bright. I'm so glad we had that talk.
That was a clip from Cinderella's story. We all know how that story goes. The stepsisters are clearly the favorite kids.
So what do you do when you prefer one child over another? Don't say it doesn't happen. Parenting expert Webb Egerton is here with some advice. It does happen, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And 85% of all American parents secretly admit that they have a favorite child. And the effects of this favoritism can be so damaging to the non-favorite child.
Like what?
Low self-esteem, eating disorders, alcohol and drug effects.
Okay.
It can really, really damage a child for their entire life into adulthood.
So if parents out there have been harboring this secret and they think they have a favorite child and maybe a problem child, how do they begin changing the dynamic with that not-so-favorite child?
That's a great question. What you want to do is parents, start being a parent for the first thing. You want to turn it around, reach your child. A lot of parents say to me, Webb, well, if he would just clean up his room, I would love him and we'd get along so well. That doesn't work. You want to reach the child, find out what they're doing that's bugging you. Really look at yourself as a parent. A lot of times parents look to their children and say, oh, they're just like that horrible ex-husband of mine, or they're just like that aunt that I can't stand. You want to watch your projections that you're projecting onto your non-favorite children.
And one of the things you say, be a parent, you mentioned, start speaking differently to your non-favorite child. In what respect? So I try to check yourself before you come out with the put-down statements like you just mentioned?
Right, you want to start speaking positively and listen to yourself. I had a situation...
You're not as bad as I thought. For example, might be one.
Well, you want to say positive things and start turning the positive to the non-favorite child. A lot of times parents say, like, well, how could you have done that? And the favorite child, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, honey, you didn't do well. Let me do. Start encouraging your non-favorite child.
Does the non-favorite child know that they are in that category?
Most of the time they do.
But what about the favorite child? Sometimes he or she feels like they also are the non-favorite child.
Well, sometimes that happens, and sometimes parents don't even realize that they're playing one off against the other, how well they're doing, and they get children competing against each other.
And just so everyone knows, we leave everyone with a positive idea. Cinderella, not the favorite, but ended up making it a positive with the slipper. Lindsay Lohan, maybe the favorite, to indulge. And Brady Bunch, it looked like Jan, to you as an expert, believe that Jan got the short end of the stick.
Well, it could be. What you want to do is bridge a gap, and you want to join with your parent, with your child. Find something that you can join together and do an activity that they both really love, and really start to tell your children how you love them.
That's great. All right, Webb Egerton, thanks so much for being here with these tips.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. And you were our favorite guest this hour.
Look out, here comes Regina.
I know, Louis.